Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ross and Wizzy's Fan Fiction Power Hour. I am your co-host tonight, Wizzy Puff, and joining me is...
Wizzy, that's disgusting. Hi, everybody, it's me, Ross Pitt, Shotcutter. Hey, Wizzy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully we can, get this episode out before the 4th. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. Let me just look at my schedule here. What is this, episode 86? Yeah, we'll definitely be able to get it out before the July the 4th.
Yes!
Alright, excellent. So, speaking of July 4th, Wizzy, what are we going to be reading today?
Oh, today we're doing a Trixie fic. The
Ooh.
famous neglected character, Trixie... I don't know her last name.
Lulamoon.
Lulamoon, that's right.
It's wild how they don't give her the thing on here.
Yeah, it's just Trixie. I mean, I guess you recognize it enough, right?
Yeah, perhaps they only give them to main characters.
Oh, that's probably...
Which is disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, they just have Flurry Heart for Flurry Heart, when we all know it's Flurry Heart, and then the last name of the other two.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Pony names work just like our names.
Definitely, buddy. You just keep telling yourself that.
But today, Trixie experiments with illegal fireworks in Trixie Experiments with Illegal Fireworks by Soothing Stone.
No, why is she doing that?
I don't know. Let's find out.
That's just rude. So, in case anyone is wondering, I do have some experience with illegal fireworks, because I live in Texas.
Whoa.
And in this specific area, in Texas at least, it is illegal to set off fireworks, but not to buy them.
Oh.
But everyone does it anyways. Nobody cares. Nobody gets the cops called on them.
Yeah, it's just like speeding on the highway.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can get started with Chapter 1. Let's play with fire tonight. All you have to do is concentrate on a huge spark of fire. Clear everything else in your mind and imagine nothing else. Nothing but fire and all the heat, light, and elements of it.
But how am I supposed to concentrate when my greatness is all over this room? I cannot contain it just like that.
I'm sure you can manage to think of something other than yourself for a few seconds. You learned how to turn everything into teacups, remember? You can do it again. Just concentrate.
Fine. Let's see if I can do this.
Trixie concentrated on the hay pile in front of her, thinking of nothing but fire. Fire. Fireworks. Fireworks she used for her magnificent shows. Shows that let every pony know how great and powerful she was. Cut it out. This wasn't the time to bask in her own glory. She needed to get this done for her own sake, and Starlight's sake as well. She would get better at real magic stuff if she actually applied herself to it. In the meantime, Starlight kept a close eye on her friend. There was no way she was going to let Trixie practice elemental magic inside Twilight's castle, so they went out to an open field in the great outdoors. It was a good thing the Apple family had a few extra piles of hay, and it would be perfect target practice for some fire spells. She just hoped that Trixie wouldn't have had a hard time with this. However, Trixie was stuck on the most basic spell for over 10 minutes. A burst of magic came out of her horn every now and then, but that was it. Another attempt gave the same results. She stomped her hooves in frustration.
Can't we just try water spells first? It's not like any pony gets hurt from that.
This is the easiest elemental spell to learn first. I learned that from experience, Starlight noted. Just give it a try. You're getting warmer.
Me. Haha, what a great pun. Almost as great as we are. Let's try this again.
Trixie cleared her mind of everything else against all odds. She wanted to be even greater than before, like that was possible, and this would be her next step towards that goal.
It is actually very possible to be greater than Trixie.
Whoa!
For instance, Sunset, greater than Trixie.
Okay. But then that's it.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think, of people, probably Starlight better than Trixie,
okay,
honestly.
But that's all of them.
Well, then we got Spike, obviously, Ike.
Yeah, but...
He's Spike the Great and Glorious.
There's only like 3 people in all of Equestria better than her.
Yeah, but that's still 3 people.
Yeah.
And obviously there's King Sombra. Can't just disrespect my boy like that.
Yeah, with Discord or Celestia or Twilight or Applejack, Rainbow Dash. Okay, I'm gonna continue reading. This is just a depressing Trixie fic now, where everyone's better than her.
I'm sure there's one where she realizes that.
And this would be her next step towards that goal. The magician inhaled and exhaled in preparation. That bale of hay was going down in a pile of flames, so help her. Her horn glowed as she put all her mental strength into it, and she let it go. That took all the mental strength out of her, and she took a moment to breathe.
Did I do it?
Why don't you look for yourself? As it turned out, the haystack was burning in a pile of flames. It was a beautiful sight, and it made all the woodland critters run away for their lives.
I did it. I did it. I set something on fire. Ooh-hoo-hoo.
Oh no, it's the start of her pyromaniac phase.
Typical Trixie.
She bounced around the burning hay in triumph, feeling like she just climbed Mount Everest, or whatever the equestrian counterpart of it was. Starlight was...
Okay. Never actually seen something like that in this.
Yeah, a bit of fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, it's usually if the narrator, unless it's like a human coming into this world, it's usually if the narrator was always in Equestria.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how a story is written, right?
The question is, what's the name of the biggest mountain in Equestria?
Mount Featherest.
That's a good one. It's where all the griffins go. Starlight was secretly fearing if she just created a monster, but she gave her friend a warm smile instead. That's great. You learned a basic fire spell today. How does that make you feel?
Like I could do anything. I always knew I had it in me, but this is so great. I want to set more things on fire, like a tree. Can I set that tree on fire?
Maybe not right now, Trixie. It can always come in handy if you're fighting a monster, or you need to melt snow. Something along those lines. Either way, good job, Trixie. I knew you would come through.
Of course I would. Oh, would the great and powerful Trixie ever back down from a challenge? Never.
Right. Just be careful when you use it. I can think of a few times where I used the wrong spell at the wrong time. She looked down at her schedule, a habit Twilight encouraged her to pick up, and the next thing on her list caught her eye. I'm so sorry, but I have to go help Twilight with something. I completely forgot about it.
And what would that be? Trixie thought you cleared the whole day for magic practice. I'm sure I could teach you a thing or two about stage magic while we're at it.
I thought the same thing about my schedule, but it slipped my mind. I have to go help her get some fireworks together for Rainbow Dash's birth-iversary.
Birth-iversary? That sounds so silly, it comes around to being brilliant, just like me.
Trixie commented. It's her birthday, but it's also the day she moved to Ponyville. She really wants something huge for it. Given it's also her first birthday as Wonderbolt, I'm going to help arrange the fireworks for the party. Now that was something Trixie was interested in.
Sorry, I probably reacted to that a bit sooner than I should have. I should have waited until you were like halfway through that sentence there. Fireworks? I love fireworks. I even use them for every magic show. Can I help? Please? Pretty please?
Sorry, but there's 5 ponies already helping out with that. We could always use a helping hoof with concessions or setting up the roller coaster, if you still want to pitch in. What do you say?
Well, now that you've taught her the fire spell, she could take care of one of those pony problems pretty easily.
What's that pony problem?
The 5 other ponies helping.
Oh, I see. You're implying assassination.
Murder, yes.
My mind is too innocent for that.
Lies.
Okay. It's too slow for getting that.
Your mind, like Soothing Stone. Did we mention this was by Soothing Stone? I don't remember that. Also, speaking of mentioning Soothing Stone, you should all go down into the description and read the story for yourself. I forgot to mention that. Sorry, guys. And if not, since we're already a bit of the way through, you could always go down into the description and give it a like. Even if you don't like the story, just do it.
Do it.
For me, and for Soothing Stone, who, just like Wizzy, is very innocent, not a mature story in sight.
Yes, my kind of author.
freaking nailed that, by the way.
Like Spider-Man bouncing off the walls.
Anyways, back to the story, and if you guys don't remember what the last sentence was, it was, oh no, sorry, we can't, you can't help out with the fireworks, you could do this concessions or whatever. And so that's what leads into this next sentence where Trixie goes, concessions? Trixie is too great for concessions. If you don't want my help with fireworks, I will make my own way. Tell Dash that her Bertha what is going to be the greatest and most powerful celebration ever, for the great and powerful Trixie will give her the show of a lifetime.
Trixie ran away to go off on her own path, disappearing into the distance. Starlight sighed and rubbed her forehead. She was left all alone to put these haystacks up. At least Trixie set one of them on fire, so that was one less thing to take care of. Knowing that blue unicorn, however, there was going to be a lot more to take care of soon. Canterlot was a city full of splendor, but there were always those streets and alleyways that came across as a little seedy. Trixie knew that better than most. She made many visits to that part of town when she was down on her luck. During the darkest time in her life, she found out about a certain little shop that sold a few hidden treasures, and this was the perfect time to pay it another visit. The weather was dark and stormy, with a gust of wind every now and then. It always seemed to rain whenever she came to this alley, and she made it a habit to bring her cloak whenever she trotted by here. It would always take a while to find this place, but she would recognize the storefront once she found out. It was early in the evening, so the store was still open. The bell rang when she went inside, and she was the only customer strolling in. Thanks Celestia for that. No pony but her needed to know what she had up her sleeve. Now, where was that shopkeeper? Right when she was thinking about that, the lights turned on. The shopkeeper was waiting for a customer at the front desk.
You! I recognize you from long ago. You were the one that purchased the alicorn amulet, are you not?
Ah, it's this guy.
Oh, so he's actually from the show, eh?
Yeah.
I was just picturing Donut Joe, I'll be honest.
Oh, wow. Well, no, it's not Donut Joe. Very different character. Much worse, much worse.
Aw, man. So he's just a mean guy who sells bad people bad things?
Yeah, I mean, he sells bad people bad things, but he's not a mean guy, I would say.
So just like a skeezy guy?
Yeah. He just kind of does what he does. You know how it be.
Screw you, Amulet Joe. That's what I'm going to call him.
Pretty sure his name is just Shopkeep.
Shopkeeper. Two names.
That's a cruel name. But it also makes sense.
Yeah, he's destined to be it. Trixie hid her face underneath the cloak.
Whatever do you mean? I do not know what this alicorn amulet is.
Quit your games at once! I know who you are, Trixie Lulamoon, and your exploits with the amulet are well documented. I will never sell anything that potent to you again.
She sighed and undid the cloak over her face.
Okay. I don't need to be reminded. I'm not going to take over the world again. Yet. I had something else in mind. You see, one of Starlight's friends is having a birthday party, and I need something to every pony's attention. It's what I'm good at.
Get their attention, you say? Intriguing.
Well, now, she never said get their attention. She's just said that she needs something to every pony's attention.
Oh, man. I didn't even notice that the first time you were reading it.
Intriguing. I have a section in the back that might interest you, if you'll follow me.
Trixie shrugged and went along with it. Nothing else in the store interested her, so she decided to take a look. The shopkeeper led her through a curtain in the back of the place, and what she saw took her breath away. As it turned out, the hidden section of the store was a selection of fireworks. Everything you could ask for, it was here. Sparklers, crackers. Wait, we can't say that on the podcast. We're going to get canceled.
Ooh, damn.
Roman candles, sounds a bit, maybe problematic. Launchers, a pony could buy it here. Trixie couldn't help but marvel at the selection, and she felt like a filly in a candy store.
But they don't sell for New Year's Eve fireworks. I pick up for resale.
They don't have New Year's Eve, do they?
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't.
I don't know, do they talk about years? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. I'm picturing them having a totally separate time system.
No, yeah, they talk about years. That's how you get the holidays, you know?
Yeah. How else would they do it? He explained.
What do you think?
I guess they could do it by just seasons.
True.
Like season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5, season 6, season 7, season 8, and then it finally ends on season 9.
Gotta get a show that actually does seasons, but they have it be every season from fall, winter, summer, blah.
That would be cool. I want that now. What do I think? This is the best thing I've ever seen. How could I say no to all this? I don't even know where to begin. You took Trixie's breath away. Do you know how hard that is?
Not very hard, apparently.
Fuck you.
Trixie went gaga and thought up the ways she could go crazy with this. Did she want a 50-shot launcher to really get Dash's party started? No, they probably had that already. Maybe a huge dragon launcher instead. The fireworks looked just like a fearsome dragon. No, that was not exquisite enough for Trixie. Then she realized she was getting stumped at her choice. All these toys she could play with, and nothing she saw was going to be a show stealer. This was a lot harder than she thought. And that's when she saw it. The thing that would change her destiny. The right firework that would make this party legendary. And something they would remember for the rest of their lives. The fact that it looked dangerous only made it stand out even more. It was a gigantic rocket, bigger than anything she had ever seen in her life. It had a big base at the bottom just to hold it upright. The fact that its fuse was as thick as her hoof was icing on the cake. She almost lost her breath again at the mere sight of it.
What is that beauty?
She asked.
I don't know what it is, but I must have it.
That one. We dubbed it the Major Pickens rocket. Though no pony knows the origin of its name, the Pickens rocket is big enough to ride and explodes into the largest array of fire and sparkles created by pony kind. However, it has the potential to be deadly. They banned it in the Griffin Kingdom of all places. Equestria soon following suit. This might be the last one they ever built.
So, it's big, dangerous, and griffins are scared of it? I'm sold.
Now, hold your horses.
Or ponies.
I bet that's a swear. Hold your horses. I bet that's a curse in this world.
It's just like barnacles and SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I have debated if I should even be carrying it at all. You see how powerful it is from the size of it. Perhaps you're the worst possible customer for this, given your history. You would only use it for nefarious purposes, or to inflate your ego even further.
Trixie pulled out a huge bag of bits. It was twice the size of the one she used for the amulet.
You were saying?
Sold! If you need any help getting it out of here, I could.
Trixie was already levitating the rocket out of the store by herself. It took a lot of effort, and she would need to cover the fuse from the rain, but this was going to be so worth it. She was out of the store before he knew it. The shopkeeper shrugged and spilled the bits on the counter. Never hurt to know how much coin he'd just made. Maybe this would be enough bits to stop feeling guilty about selling yet another item of great power to the most insane unicorn ever. But whatever. A transaction was a transaction.
I respect the hustle.
Yeah, he's not the one using it for nefarious purposes. He's just supplying it.
Mm-hmm.
A few minutes after Trixie left, a bunch of crystal ponies and cloaks came in to do business.
Hey, we heard you sold a lot of good things here. Like really powerful things.
The leader of the group spoke.
You think you have something we'd be interested in? We kind of need a necromancy thing to bring back our Dark Lord.
He pulled out a horn from under his cloak. King Sombra's horn.
I will not do such a thing!
The shopkeeper rebuked.
You will never convince me to bring back one of Equestria's most notorious unicorns for your dark purposes. How did you even think I would say yes?
We have our ways.
All the ponies brought out huge bags of bits to sweeten the deal.
Oh, in that case, let me get you some of Equestria's best banned spellbooks.
This guy's the worst.
He is. That's so good.
This is going to end with Trixie having to fight them with the rocket.
That would be so cool.
Huge big battle scene at the end like that.
I don't think we have enough words in the story left for that. I suppose we'll see.
Okay, everybody, welcome to Rainbow Dash's anniversary
And birthday.
celebration.
Pinkie Pie and Cheese Sandwich worked together to get this party started again. And boy, was it a party. Just as the birthday girl requested, it was 20% bigger than last year, and that was already a big blowout to begin with. All of Ponyville turned into a celebration of the life and times of Rainbow Dash, and she wouldn't have had it any other way. Speaking of...
That just reminds me of The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. Any story that has the title The Life and Times of, love it.
Was The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck a fanfiction?
It's a comic book.
Okay.
It's so good.
Speaking of Dash, she was in the middle of the festivities, having a hard time deciding what to do first. Should she ride the most intense roller coaster in the world? Should she have a bite of the world's largest pizza? Until the next party, that is. Anxiety choice was a real thing with a party like this, and she didn't know where to start.
Great party, Crash.
Spitfire greeted her. A lot of Wonderbolts showed up out of uniform to celebrate with her, and their minds were boggled at the sheer size of the party.
Maybe I should have Pinkie Pie throw something for the Wonderbolts' next anniversary. Bet she'd make it one to remember. You should. You really should. She would go all out for it.
Yo, that voice is so good for Dash.
It's the perfect Rainbow Dash voice.
It totally
I sound
suits her personality.
exactly like Ashley Ball.
Dash replied with a huge grin on her face.
Isn't this amazing? I knew she and Cheese Sandwich would go all out, but I didn't think they would go that all out. I know what you mean. You sure you don't want the crew to do some routine or something during the fireworks show? They'd be up for it if you asked. Nah, not tonight. Let's just kick back, relax, and let Twilight do her thing.
I'm rocking my head back and forth for that voice.
Speaking of Twilight, she was setting up the fireworks over by a hill. A few unicorns helped her get everything into place, including Starlight and Lyra Heartstrings. And she wanted to make sure all the wiring and fuses looked just right. Her crew was getting a little anxious at this point.
Come on, Light. I don't think we need to look over it again.
Oh, that is a good Zoidberg voice.
Thank you.
Lyra spoke up.
You triple-checked it and everything. Do we really need to do this again?
I'm running out of voices, man. There's so many characters in this thing.
Right?
There's nothing wrong with checking it one more time.
The princess replied.
This could be a huge danger risk, so I need to make sure everything is perfect. Starlight rolled her eyes and thought this was vintage. Twilight.
They didn't end it with a quotation mark. I had to continue.
No, yeah, that's true. You have to continue like that.
Starlight rolled her eyes and thought this was vintage Twilight. She was starting to understand why Spike went crazy every so often from the princess's routine lately. She got bored and looked off to the side, only to catch the worst possible sight imaginable. Trixie was off at the tallest hill in town, just 1,000 feet away. She was hard at work setting up the biggest rocket Starlight had ever seen. And even worse, she was sitting on top of it with riding goggles on her face. Every nightmare she had about Trixie's plans tonight were all coming true in front of her.
Excuse me. I need to go take of a friendship problem. Go ahead, Starlight. We're just about done here,
said Twilight.
Just 3 more checks and we're good to go.
With that blessing, Starlight ran as fast as she could to the rocket. Trixie was still adjusting her flanks for the best riding position, so there was still time to stop the worst possible thing from happening. However, Trixie caught her best friend galloping her way.
Hey, Starlight, are you going to help me with this? Rides are always better with a friend, am I right?
What in Equestria are you doing?
Starlight shouted at her.
Are you crazy? Actually, I should know that by now. What I should be asking, do you have a death wish? You're really going to ride that? What even is that thing?
Oh, it's the Major Pickens rocket, my friend. So dangerous, even the Griffin Kingdom banned it. The great and powerful Trixie will ride it into the air like it's a magnificent dragon. And she's going to show Rainbow Dash who's the real show stealer in this town. You want to tag along? I've got a pair for you.
She levitated another pair of riding goggles to her for the occasion. Trixie, this is really dangerous. I don't know how you think rockets work, but that's going to explode after you light the fuse. Please don't do this.
Too late. This is my destiny, and I'm going to fulfill it.
Trixie aimed her horn at the fuse and lit it with a fire spell. The fuse started to go up to the base of the rocket, leading her to the glory she always wanted.
No, you can't do that. I have to stop it.
Starlight immediately prepared some sort of wind spell or anything to stop it.
Are you sure you want to stop this? Isn't there a bit of a naughty streak still left in you, eager to see what happens if you ride this thing? Don't tell me you've never wanted to ride a rocket just because you can.
Starlight actually stopped in her tracks with that suggestion. She had a choice here, possibly the most important one in her lifetime. Would she let Trixie go off to her own devices and risk great harm, or would she be the good friend that stopped her friend from doing something really stupid?
Yeah, just teleport her off it.
Yeah, does Starlight do teleportation?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it would be
Starlight's basically Twilight, but a Mary Sue.
Okay. That sounds like a fun description.
Yeah. To be fair, Starlight is not a Mary Sue. She does have her problems. Major problems.
Yeah, I thought she was like a villain at one point, so...
Yeah.
The more she thought about it, the more she realized something that scared her. She found the idea of riding this thing exciting. The naughty streak in her was starting to come back.
Naughty?
Now that it was back, oh man, was it going to have its day in the sun. She hopped on the rocket and sat behind Trixie, grabbing the goggles in her magical grip and putting them over her eyes.
Does this have a depth tag? Whatever.
I always knew you were going to be the end of me, Trixie. I just didn't know it was going to be this much fun.
That's the spirit. To glory and having 1 billion fans.
Trixie cheered as she live-streamed the event on Instagram, titled Trixie's Last Event.
It doesn't say that.
Nah, but it does say the fuse was just about to go off when Twilight caught wind of what was going down. She couldn't believe what she was witnessing, and she thought up all the spells she could use to prevent this. It was already too late, though. The fuse went inside the rocket and ignited the gunpowder inside. The rocket shot up in the air immediately. Starlight screamed at the top of her lungs and clutched Trixie for dear life. And Trixie screamed at the top of her lungs from pure joy. They went up 50 feet, then 100 feet. Then Ponyville was looking rather small below them.
Holy Celestia, we're all going to die.
Starlight roared.
Trixie
Trixie cheered. The entire crowd of ponies turned their heads at the sound of the rocket, and their jaws collectively dropped on the floor. Not just from the 2 unicorns riding the rocket, mind you, but from the huge spark of fireworks left in its wake. It created a long trail of colorful sparks behind it, and it was actually very nice.
That's lovely.
Starlight's mane flew around in the wind as her heart pounded in her chest. She couldn't believe this was really happening, or that Trixie was really enjoying this. Their surroundings were a blur, but they were almost out of Ponyville now.
How far does this rocket go, Trixie?
I don't know. I didn't ask. Whee!
Oh, Jesus, no. Trixie's gonna die. Trixie's actually gonna die.
Hey now. So is Starlight.
Yeah. The rocket was about to hit a mountainside, and Starlight's heart nearly stopped when she saw certain doom in front of her. Thinking fast, she used her magic to steer the rocket back to town.
Oh,
they
God.
came within inches of becoming mush, and she nearly passed out at the near miss.
This is the best thing ever.
Trixie screamed again. Her eyes watered up from the awesomeness of everything she was experiencing. Meanwhile, back on the ground, the rocket was the only thing grabbing Dash's attention. Spitfire was standing next to her just as dumbstruck as she was.
Should we add something like that to our next routine? I wouldn't mind riding one of those.
No! Oh, my Celestia, you actually think that's a good idea?
Dash barked.
Just a thought.
The rocket. Well, I mean, Dash has done the sonic rain boom, let's be honest.
Yeah, and she's scared of this thing. Let that sink in.
I guess that is a good point. You know, she probably dodges mountains a lot easier when she's off a rocket.
Yeah.
The rocket was only going faster and faster, and Starlight bent over to vomit her lunch. Trixie was hanging her hooves up in the air like she didn't care, because she really didn't care. They were making history, dang it, and she was going to milk this moment for all it's worth. Then it hit Starlight what was about to happen.
Wait a minute, don't rockets always explode at the end?
Wait a minute. I just lit a rocket. Rockets explode! They do? I didn't know that.
How do you not know that? It's a firework. You use fireworks for your show. They always explode in the end.
The rocket exploded into a whirlwind of sparks and flames. It was a marvelous sight, and it went on for over a minute. It would be enough to let the toe forget the sight of 2 unicorns crashing to the ground below. Starlight slowly creaked her eyes open. She swore to Celestia and Luna that she would be in heaven, hell, or whatever afterlife there was. But that's not what she saw. Instead...
Because she doesn't believe in that.
Hey, so she got kicked out. She has to go in the budget one. You get budget heaven.
Let's face it, Starlight's not going to heaven. She's done a lot of shit.
She was on the path to recovery, but this last event, definitely secured her place. Instead, she saw the ceiling of a hospital room. When it hit her where she was, she imagined she was in a lot of pain. Either that or the injuries she suffered would be severe. Lady Luck was kind to her, however. She looked down to find out that she was in a full body cast. She didn't lose any limbs in the explosion, and she could tell her skin wasn't that badly charred. Given what she just went through, that was the best case scenario she could hope for. She groaned and winced in pain as she laid her head back, which was really the only thing she could do in this spot. It was a mystery why she got on that rocket, or what went through Trixie's mind that night. Against all odds, her little episode with the rocket wasn't over quite yet.
Hey, you're awake?
A familiar voice said.
They said you might be in a coma, but I just laughed at them. You're almost as great and powerful as me, so how are you going to be in a coma?
Starlight tilted her head just enough to see who her roommate was. Trixie was in the bed next to her in a full body cast. The only difference between them was that Trixie's forelegs were completely unharmed. Lucky mare.
What? What happened to us? I don't remember anything after the rocket went off.
It went as well as you could hope for. They actually think we'll make a full recovery. We just have to be in these stupid casts for 2 weeks and we'll be fine. Not bad, eh?
Yo, the horses heal fast.
Yeah, pretty true to the show, actually.
I mean, it makes sense when everything has unicorn magic.
Yep.
Fine. What were we thinking? That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. And I once enslaved an entire village.
That true?
Oh yeah, she enslaved an entire village. She went back in time and destroyed the universe. She's done a lot of stuff.
Starlight.
Like I said, she's not a good person. She's going to hell.
That's worse than when she killed Twilight with a relish fork.
With a relish fork?
Classic. Go back to solving for death.
But wasn't that the best thing you've ever done? We got their attention all right. And it was a fun ride while it lasted.
Whose attention? What is wrong with you?
Suddenly, the door opened to their room. Rainbow Dash came in, and she had 2 bushels of flowers with her. She put them neatly by their bedsides, and she was completely calm.
That's the sweetest thing we've ever read Rainbow Dash to. Except for maybe adopting a kid for like 5 seconds, but...
Yeah.
Thank heavens you're all right. I don't have a lot of time before the next Wonderbolts practice, so I'll make it quick.
Starlight sighed a bit.
Look, Dash, I'm really sorry about everything. We ruined your birthday party, and we won't do it again.
Birthversary party, actually.
What are you talking about? That was the best thing I've ever seen. And even Pinky thought what you did was awesome. You guys made this year the best birthday party I've ever had. Oh crap, I've gotta go.
She zipped out the door in a flash. Starlight couldn't believe her ears. Was Dash actually happy about what they did? To make it worse, she saw Trixie with the smuggest grin she would ever see.
Trixie, please don't do that.
Say it.
Never.
Say that was the best moment of your life.
What makes you think I'll say it?
Because it was.
Starlight groaned and laid her head back against the pillow. When she recalled that moment in time, however, she couldn't help but smile.
Okay, it was pretty awesome.
See, we might be stuck in here for a while, but it was worth it. I knew spending all those bits would pay off, and it did. I'm never going to forget that for as long as I live.
Me either. But we're never riding a rocket again. One time is enough for a lifetime.
Really, though, Trixie missed her calling as a daredevil.
He's just in it for the adrenaline at this point.
Yeah. Meh, I'm cool with that. That might have been the last rocket they ever made like it.
Thank goodness.
And then they learned about the nuclear bomb.
Oh, God.
In the sequel, Trixie rides a nuclear missile.
It's just Trixie at the end of Doctor Strangelove.
Oh, if only I've watched that.
It's got a pretty famous shot of a guy riding a nuclear bomb. And then it explodes.
And Trixie would still survive.
Probably. Knowing our luck. Ugh.
They laid there quietly for a little while, the purple unicorn still processing what just happened. After a little while, Twilight came over to visit the two patients. She was worried and angry at the same time, but she leaned in more on the former. Trixie couldn't have been happier to see her, oddly enough.
Actually, I would say Starlight's more pink. But whatever. Came here to congratulate us on our success.
Trixie gloated.
No, I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I would lecture you on how idiotic that stunt was, but you should already know that.
Oh, you're an idiot.
You have no idea.
Starlight sighed.
I'm just glad that you're okay, both of you. I was terrified that you would lose a hoof or something like that. That didn't happen. They said you still have to be here for 2 weeks or more. Don't worry, I brought a bunch of books for you to read while you're here.
To prove her point, she levitated a whole shelf of books into the room.
Normally, ponies need limbs to read books, but you're both unicorns, so you can use your horns to pick up the books.
Oh, you're such a sweetie,
Trixie said in a mocking tone. Out of the blue, she started to clutch her chest in agony.
Oh no, everything hurts. Am I dying? I think I'm dying.
Trixie, you're okay. See? All the vital signs are normal.
Twilight responded, pointing over to the monitor strapped up to the blue unicorn.
I think it's all internal. Oh, it hurts so much. I need to tell you something just in case I don't make it.
Her tone grew more serious as she went on. Twilight didn't buy it, but then she thought Trixie was being sincere for once. She came down to the bedside to check up on her.
Hang in there, Trixie. I'm listening.
It would be really funny if Trixie was dying.
Oh, God. Turns out that she just had, crushed ribs compacting her lungs or something. Gets really serious and turns into, a medical drama in the last few paragraphs.
Words.
She ended up making the biggest mistake of her life, getting up close to Trixie. The next thing she knew, Trixie booped her nose with a hoof.
Boop. Got your nose.
The alicorn's snout scrunched up, and she face-palmed her. Face-hoofed, please. And she face-palmed herself out of shame.
Of course he booped me. That's what you wanted to say.
Yep. Did you like my act?
No more booping for you today.
Starlight laughed quietly and enjoyed her little view of the ceiling. Trixie could be too much at times. There was no denying that she was entertaining. At least they would give each other the company of a friend during their stay. The best company of all. And what a perfect sentence to end on.
Oh, shit. This is referencing Doctor Strangelove.
Wait, it is?
Oh, that's really funny. Yeah, look at the author's note. Also, wanted to address that Major Pickens reference in case most of you don't get it. It's a pretty random reference, but it's referencing Doctor Strangelove.
Oh,
namely, the character riding that bomb at the end of it. I didn't know that. I just know that one scene from Doctor Strangelove.
The character is a major in the army, and he was played by Slim Pickens.
Oh, shit.
That's why I went with it. Random, yes. Funny, probably only to me. No, don't worry, it's funny to me too. Even though I haven't seen the movie.
If you could hear me laughing right now. Well, a few seconds ago, I guess. Anyways, so that was Trixie Experiments with Illegal Fireworks by Soothing Stone.
Very beautiful story. Very touching.
Absolutely. There was booping, there was romance, silly stuff, drama. You wrote it all.
The romance between one mare and arson.
I like this story a lot.
Yeah.
It was just nice, cute fun.
I really like this person's comedy style. I did notice that there was like a lot of grammatical errors, so maybe some editing in the future, but
Hey, if you ever need an editor and want to pay me like $30,
ooh.
I'm right here. Wink. Oh my gosh, Wizzy.
Yeah?
He has a story called Ocean Eyes.
Yo, named after the album of Owl City?
Probably not.
Oh, I hope so.
I've heard many people say the words Ocean Eyes before, so if I had to guess.
I don't think I've heard that so much, away from Owl City, that is.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Trixie is just a dumbass.
Perfect
Fucking
character for
idiot.
stories like this, and the other Trixie story we did, Duped. Which
Duped.
I feel like the characters were pretty similar.
If you don't know what Duped is, it might not be on FimFiction anymore. It's probably on FimFetch, but we also did an episode on that.
Give it a listen.
The Duped comparison I could definitely see, because yeah, that's basically just Trixie for you. She's not the brightest bulb, and oftentimes she gets herself into some wacky shenanigans that she needs other people to bail her out of.
Oh, Trixie.
What a dipshit. But Wizzy, you haven't told me, what's your experience with illegal fireworks?
Oh, I don't think, you see, here in Washington, it's pretty difficult to get real illegal fireworks. Because when they start getting illegal here, they get really dangerous. So yeah, I use, like, fireworks that go into the sky and whatnot. They're completely legal. At least, not during burn bans, they're legal.
Very unfortunate. Hate legal fireworks. It takes so much fun out of it.
The thrill of breaking the law.
The thrill. Oh yeah, Trixie also in this story. Sorry, I'll let you finish. Trixie reminded me of, I think it was Roxy Rocket from Batman the Animated Series. It was just a random thought I had there.
If only I knew who that was.
Not one of the better villains in his rogues gallery, I'll be honest. She first appeared in that series, and was not interesting enough to appear in many others. So,
unlike Harley Quinn.
Yep.
But the most illegal firework of all, the snake. You ever dealt with a snake firework?
Nope, can't say that I have.
Oh, you better look it up. They're pretty impressive.
Alrighty then.
But I think if you all go and look up that sight to see after that, we're pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah, not much more to say other than go give this story a like, you guys, if you haven't already. Stop being wusses.
You want to plug yourself?
Yeah, thank you so much, Fizzy. All right, everybody, I am on Twitter, that dying platform currently, at RossPitShark. You can also find me on my YouTube channel that I probably won't upload many videos ever again, RossPitSharkHunter. And Wizzy, where can they find you?
Nice try. You're not getting me to give up my hiding spot. See, we've been playing hide and seek for the past 3 weeks, and he still can't find me.
I have been trying to get you to record, and somehow you've finally been able to. But I still can't find you.
I haven't eaten for the past 48 hours. All right.
Bye.
See, I get the final one because you did the intro.
Cut it out. This wasn't the time to bask
Speaking
in
of cut
her
it out,
own
my
glory.
cat is trying to get in. Hold on 1 second.
Oh boy.
It better not freaking.
Meow 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 meow.
I got a long cord again so I can listen to everything you say when I'm gone.
No!